Happy Tuesday, everybody. It is May. Hey! It's already May. It's May 3rd, 2022. I'm Bryce Castillo, your pre-show Green Room Great Room Navigator. I am bringing you here into the great night so that you might have a fantastic evening. Coming up tonight, we're going to be talking a lot about Vegas stuff, but a good amount of it has been recorded, and so you'll see more of it beyond even just us talking about it today. So we got a couple of little stories that'll be fun from Vegas, from Scoopfest, and then we've got Will Harrison. Will said, "Hey, you know what? Hey, I see." Will saw us in Vegas. Said, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go down to Austin. I'm gonna go down to Austin. I'm gonna hang out with you guys next week." So that'll be a lot of fun. We're gonna have Will Harris with us today. He's got a whole lot. I heard one of the stories, and I was so excited to hear how in any reality that was something that came to be. But you know what? I think that's going to be a story for another hour. In the meantime, I believe we're going to take it over to the green room. Green room, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Green. Not green.
Oh, is it still not green? We got to do something about that.
Yeah.
No,
Are we
it's
gonna
always
paint
great though.
I just want to say that there's a lot of people looking for the OG Brito, Will Harris. He is here. He's
in the shower.
He smells like shit, so
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
taking a
We
shower.
were like, bro.
That's right.
Did y'all tell him? He's like,
I said, look, you
not allowed to be
smell
in here.
like tariffs and oppression. And so,
Oh my
Brexit. You smell
gosh.
like
yeah,
Brexit.
we're gonna send you into our own little Boston harbor
Yes.
called the shower at
Yep.
the Puppy.
Oh
I
my
believe the
God.
exact thing Justin said is the morn that you were born, your old man beat up the doctor. He clocked the doctor because the doctor said you look like Chewbacca. He said, "No, sir, don't be misled, sir. When you first mistook me, I did not mean your lovely wife was shacking up with the Wookiee. What I mean is Wolverine is less hairy than your son. He looks like Chewie, Papa Booey, and Hong Kong Phooey all in one." I'm just gonna keep going on.
yeah, we need to
all
stop
of why
right
is
here.
everybody picking
We got to
on me.
stop right now.
Verse 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Nope. That's all right. Every time.
That's
Any
a song
chance
called
you get.
Improv Stopper.
Yeah.
How does it go again?
No, fuck you. That's I do believe that's the phrase.
Yeah.
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 Oh my gosh.
Hey, Bonnie.
Yes, Brian.
Did you know that your daughter first promoted herself from captain to admiral, then promoted herself from admiral to grand admiral?
Wait. Which daughter? I have 3.
Which one do you think would be most
Would
likely?
be climbing the chain of command
I don't know.
for a naval fleet that fast.
I've got 2. I'm gonna say it was the older daughter. Is it the eldest?
No, the
It was
oldest was
the-
with me. We were pirates.
Oh, so it was the youngest.
Yes.
How did she know all the terminology?
Don't know, but she was on a boat with Andrew Heaton, so I'm going to assume she got nautical
There we
lessons.
go.
Yeah.
No, today she gets all mischievous and she's just like, Mom.
Father, I've joined the Merchant Marines. Father.
So she says, so Andrew was on our boat and he said what I was singing sounded like a war chant. So I taught my friends a war chant at school today.
Footage of them singing a war chant.
Yeah.
We're sitting there, Penelope and I, my daughter about to go to college. She's 18, and we're paddling in a swan boat in the middle of Town Lake. And then all of a sudden, we hear a boat approaching, and then we hear, we will punch you. And we look over, and sure enough, there's Andrew Heaton in a boat with my other 2 daughters, leading a war chant.
He's like, okay, young one, let's go.
Yes.
We are going to perambulate across this pond, and I promise you,
This is shockingly
Yes,
good.
this
I'm
is
getting there. I'm working on it.
Now you see here, both of my darlings, what you need to do.
Well, she was really aglow with it. Apparently, it totally tickled her to to get to share some war chants with kids, and I was like, okay.
And
As long as you're not getting in
like
trouble.
what? Do we have an example?
Oh well, it was exactly that song. It was the we will punch you.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then I'm
got
just
it.
like going that's just on the border of what will be allowed because it could be
Especially
a threat.
in school.
Yeah, in school they're
Yeah.
so uptight, but yet
Would you actually punch her? No. Are you sure? Do you
Yes.
feel safe? Not anymore.
So, but they're just like that. But they see like when they
Especially
see
in school these days, it'd be we will punch they.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what?
Okay.
We will punch them.
Hello.
Do you want to share our constructive feedback that we got?
From
Oh Jesus!
Our new
No,
listeners.
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't send them. We got. I mean, I can generally say.
Yeah. Summarize if you would. Sir.
So, big shout out to Pushkin Industries. Their podcast, Cautionary Tales.
Yes. Love
great.
Pushkin.
And they put an episode of World's Greatest Con on their feed.
Oh, very nice.
And did a very nice intro for it. And so we got a bunch of new listeners, and we've gotten a lot of great feedback. And we got one that was still very polite. Pushkin people,
Very kind.
polite, but they were upset about the fact that we were not using gender inclusive language on the intro for season 2, which, like, I it's one of those things where, look, I am very much of the philosophy that we make art. The world that's our job. The world's job is to judge it however the fuck they want, right? Like,
Positively, negatively.
whatever they want to do. So it's like I never want to impose. If our point of view did not get to them in the correct way that I want it to, it is my fault, not theirs.
In this case, I spend the majority of the intro of episode 1 very much visualizing our friend CJ Johnson, who is a man who is a hypnotist. And so I keep using the word he as I'm
Because-
describing the actions of this
like
person.
when I heard it, I was just like, oh my gosh, yeah, Brian did enough shows with this man that he knows everything about
Right,
him.
you knew
And
exactly
it was totally,
who I was
mean, and
riffing
I've
on.
done enough shows that I was just like, okay, he got it word for word. So
But
yeah.
for somebody on the outside who doesn't realize that, no,
Yeah.
this is definitely a singular person's act I'm ripping off who genders as he.
Yes.
They're like, well, it seems like you could have said they. And you're right. There is a plethora of female hypnotists as well.
Yep, that's true, but not that does this.
But it's not that. I mean, like to the point where when I met the first time I saw CJ since the show came out, I was just like, "So did you listen to World's Greatest Con?" And he's like, "Yep." And I'm like, "You listened to episode 1?" And he's like, "Yep." I'm like, "What'd you think?" And he's like, "Oh, it's great." And I'm like, "So you're cool with Brian just exposing your whole act, like right there, in the intro to our show?"
You say exposing, I say perforing. I would like to believe I could stand
Stealing.
toe-to-toe.
No. And to his, I mean, because you also know that in the world of magic, far more couched kind of language can be read as exposure. And to CJ's credit, because he is a fucking titan, he was just like, no, it fucking makes me sound dope as fuck.
I know.
Yeah, it does.
It
Guess what? It
does.
does. It makes you seem like a crazy mind hacker and not like Mr. Magic Words or whatever.
You know what's really great about CJ, and I felt like Brian really tapped into, is that he can make people feel comfortable on
Ladies
stage.
and gentlemen,
you know?
the OG
Hey, it's the
Brito
OG.
Willis. Can you scoot over here and share your mic with Will?
Yep. You get to sit in the corner.
Yes.
Well, story of my life.
There we go.
Hey, Will.
Put the naughty boy in the corner.
There we go.
And you can have the.
I just
you can
now.
have the
The mono throw. The mono throw.
I just realized we don't get to tell. All I want to do is ask about the story, but we have to save that for
Oh,
the
there's all
show.
sorts of stories. We can start with like a. We don't have to go to like the stories that we prep. There are like just so many things.
All right.
that
You know what? Can we get the Will Harris report on what TMS Las Vegas was like?
Team Vegas.
Maybe we don't.
I went to, so it was very funny. So TMS, the morning show.
Hey, you can take that.
TMS, the morning show for people who
Morning
don't.
stream.
The morning stream for people who don't watch
It's a pee
it.
joke.
But it is a morning show.
But it's called the morning stream.
It is called the morning stream.
Because of pee.
He
in
mo-
the morning.
mostly because Scott Johnson
never
loves peeing.
Knew that.
Yeah.
He
Clip
loves it.
this and send it to Scott.
Yeah.
Scott Johnson
Johnson
loves
loves urine.
peeing, and so he named his
the
morning
morning.
show about it.
About the morning stream.
Yeah.
In the morning.
So I went to. So I had a couple of weeks that I knew I was going to be taking off between work, and I thought, well, what am I going to do? I want to go and see all my friends in America that I haven't seen for
Couple years.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Last time I was here was the beginning of October 2019.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
Holy moly. This back when this was a spider factory and before the pandemic had hit.
Back when your guest room was not as guesty.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And
You're such a brave man.
so I did. So I've been doing a few things. So I went to New York to see a couple of people. I went to DC to see a couple of people, and then I went to Vegas for the TMS meetup. The TMS Viva Las Vegas, or Viva TMS Vegas, I think is what they called it.
Yes.
And it was a load of the fans from TMS.
Yep.
A little less conversation, a little more streaming now. That's
Hey, a
as
little more
the
streaming,
bard
please.
said. Yes.
Yep.
And they took over a little conference room in one of the hotels downtown.
The Plaza,
So
yeah.
it was very cool because I'm used to being in the sort of like the very touristy, I guess the touristy area.
The
of
Strip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the last time you and I went was the Cosmo,
It was at the Cosmo.
That's nice.
Yeah.
and then
That's where I won $1,000 waiting for a drink at
What?
the end of the night on fucking video poker.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah, I was really drunk, but I was betting Max.
Can you imagine
money.
me and Justin, and we were
We got
really
fucking
drunk.
faced, and
Really?
so I was just betting Max on the video poker machine, waiting for this very capable bartender who was like serving everybody as fast as possible because everything else was closed
By
in the
capable,
Cosmo.
you mean capable?
In many facets, in all facets, a multiverse of capable facets. And
She was
next
dual
thing-
wheeling bottles.
So next thing you know, I made
Double. In England we call it double fisting.
Oh, I would never say that. I didn't say that.
It's not dual wielding; it's double fisting.
So yeah, made $1,000 and then another 500 at the table, and then we went to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, everything was downtown for TMS Vegas.
Right.
So I stayed downtown, and it was just a great. Do you know what Scott said? It was a great get together of people. It was like. All these people that had come from across the country, from different places. There was one other person that had come from the UK, which was amazing.
Did Zoe?
Oh, Zoe.
Yes.
Yeah, one of our moderators.
Yeah. So Zoe had come from the UK, which was amazing. And it was sort of like a multi-day thing where there was like day one was a drinks party.
Okay.
And
Wait, all of day one was the drinks party?
no, it was like day one was like 4 till 8.
This is TMS.
That's why I'm
Yeah,
asking, because I think there's a good
no.
chance.
Drink, so like 4 till 8.
TMS crowd, the drinks begin promptly at 4, and then
Except-
end promptly at 8.
Except Scott didn't turn up till late. And you're
Oh, okay.
like, okay, so then before Scott turns up, there's just like a lot of us. And I'm pretty introverted myself.
You are pretty.
And we're just kind of sitting around by the pool like, hi, nice to meet you. What's your name? And I really feel like we could have benefited from those tags that's like, hi, my
name is, and then screen name.
X from
Yeah.
the Discord, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And that was a really lovely evening. And it was one of those Vegas evenings that's like, it's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's just that kind of like Vegas heat.
No.
And then-
Sorry, Vegas heat. If you were to describe it as an emotion, what emotion would Vegas heat be?
Potential.
Potential.
Ooh, that's tasty.
That's good.
Fucking Hunter S.
Tasty,
Thompson over here.
It's
Opportunity.
Opportunity. It's like, no, it's not
The air
opportunity.
stank like opium and opportunity.
It's like the opening to one of those movies. It was like he walked into the Pool Plaza lobby. The place smelled like cigarettes and opportunity. And it's like a cinema noir.
That was a pretty good American accent. I'm not gonna lie.
So we did drinks on the first night, which was really lovely. On the second day, we did this amazing arcade bar called, I think it was called Player One.
Yeah.
And it's basically like, I don't really think there's an equivalent in England, but in America you have these like little
Barcades.
No. You have like these little car parks with stuff attached to the car park.
Oh, like a strip mall.
Yeah,
A mini mall. A strip mall.
like a mini mall strip mall.
Yeah.
And it's like it looks like a glorified car park, and then when you look around, as well as the dry cleaners and the Chinese food,
Yep.
there is also a fully fledged a retro arcade.
Right.
Gotcha.
And you pay your $10 to get in, and you and you get to just play everything for $10. So we had a tournament, which I didn't enter because I'm terrible at retro video games.
So I'm sorry. The entry fee was $0, and you felt not qualified to attempt.
No. The entry fee was $10.
No, for the tournament.
Oh, for the tournament.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that was that was.
What was it? What was the tournament in?
What was the game?
It was in anything. So it was one of these tournaments that's quite trendy.
Oh, like in a megathon thing where they don't know the game until it starts.
Also, like I'm gonna say, a singles event that I recently went to.
Go on.
Yeah.
So in London, I promise this is relevant.
Sure.
In London, I went to a singles event where you got given a piece of paper where you had your name, which was a video game character.
Right.
So I was Dr. Robotnik.
Okay.
Okay. Eggman.
And then you had a color. So my color is teal. And then you had a number. My number was 42. And then you had a three.
Someone's looking for nerd pussy.
Yeah. And then you have 3 challenges.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
Yeah. Then you have 3 challenges, and your challenge is like beat. Mine was beat Princess Peach at anything.
Damn.
And I was like, well, that's a bit aggressive.
Yeah.
But
So you had to find the Princess
Princess
Peach.
Peach.
find Princess Peach,
And you gotta
then you'd be
say-
like, hey, so what are you playing?
Yeah.
What are you playing? And she was like, oh, I'm playing Mario Kart, which is actually very on brand.
Yep.
And so I go like, well, my challenge is to...
Is to whip your monkey ass, so sit down.
And then like the other one was like, beat somebody whose color is orange. And then you go around and you see that like some girl has got orange on her color, and then you're like, oh, I've got to beat you at something, would you play, blah, blah, blah. And it's like a really good like kind of meet cute.
Sure.
So the so it was basically that.
Did you hook up with anybody after that?
in London?
Yeah, after the London event.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
It turns out nobody wanted to
To
drop their
sleep
eggs
with
in
the man who
Eggman.
beat them at so many things. It's like, you
also-
definitely beat me a lot.
I also don't feel like
Not
that
here
would be
for
a great
this.
way to meet people.
No, I also my icebreaker.
More like beat
so my
cue.
icebreaker. You know, like when you start a conversation with somebody, you've got to be like, I've got to have something to say.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to beat you.
You know when you're talking to someone and you have to say, "Hey, I got something to say."
I'm always
Hey.
guy.
Words.
No,
Can
so
I
my-
whip the shit out of you out of this game?
So my
On Mario
icebreaker
Kart?
was.
Yeah.
So I played a lot of Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And the thing about Mario Kart
Yeah.
on the Switch is like, I'm really good at Mario Kart.
That is the thing. It's on the box.
on the Switch.
Will
Will Harris is good at
very
this
good
game.
at this.
And it used to be what my ex-wife and I played to decide.
that also is on the box.
To decide
Really
who
weird.
did the,
Yeah.
to decide
It
who
used
did
to
the
be.
washing up. It was like
Will Harris and his ex-wife used to defeat each other over who did the washing up.
Yeah.
and it's so we used to sit down and like we'd finish dinner and like whatever, you know, you're watching dinner and a Netflix and the
Yeah.
Netflix thing would finish and it's like, right, well, who's gonna wash up? Well, I'll Mario Kart you for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, it's Netflix and chill, not Netflix and do the dishes, you know?
Bonnie, how long have you been married? Netflix and chill hasn't been Netflix and chill in a long time.
Aw.
Tell us about it.
No.
So every ex-wife used to play this to decide who got to do the dishes.
You blue shelled yourself.
I thought it was funny.
No.
Because it does several things.
Here's some advice. It's
number
not.
one,
Yeah.
makes you unapproachable. Number two,
Makes it seem like you're obsessed with your ex-wife.
number three,
Makes it seem like you have bad habits.
number four,
Fuck, man. Come on.
you old. I mean, yeah, sure.
See, in my world, I was like, it gets out of the way the fact that I was married once. It gets out
Too
of the
early.
way.
That'll
Way
come
too
up.
early. That's date 3.
Okay,
Date 3.
I feel like this is a PSA moment. I know so many people that do this. It's okay just to have fun the first couple of dates and then get to the shit because you don't know if you can even have fun yet. So figure out if you have fun.
Or like mess with their mind and be all like
Yeah.
blue shell. Ha, I get it. And then she's like, what? And you're
What?
like,
It's
the new crypto, right? And then you're like,
yeah.
what?
What?
And then that's what the kids are talking about.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to so that was a little
So,
excerpt.
unsurprisingly, London went terribly.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So I go to Viva TMS Vegas, and we're playing around the arcades, and it's just.
Are you
it's
using
just,
the same lines?
No, it's just a great.
But he's paying the money, so it's okay.
Hey, have you,
so.
you ever played Mario Kart? I got a funny story about it.
Keep going, Bryce. No?
So it's a
One and done.
So
Okay. One and done.
we go and play around, and it's like really good fun. You're like playing all these arcade games that you haven't played since your youth. They've got Joust. They've got they've got NBA Jam.
Yep.
And like,
Yeah.
I'm really into. And for a few minutes, it was all just like Elijah won.
Yeah.
Elijah won! And you're like, how many takes did this guy have to do of Elijah won? Because he was probably the most popular
And
player.
saying
in
it
his
wrong
day.
every single time. It's Olajuwon.
Well, that's not the way he said it.
I like Elijah Wan.
That was the time period when
Yeah.
when Hakeem was on the Rockets. That was when
Yes!
I was a fan, so that's why I know it. It's
Okay.
Although, by the way, I've heard very good things about Elijah 1 on Disney Plus. It's debuting in the next few weeks. It looks great.
And then, so we did that for the evening, which was awesome. And then on the Wednesday, we did, there was a board game thing that I didn't quite make it to. And
Did they have shows or was it just a meet?
And then they did.
Last
then
night.
they did a live show.
Oh, okay,
so on
cool.
the last night they did a live show.
Nice.
Tom Merritt flew in to do
He didn't even do the live show, did he?
No, he came in.
He came in to play board
He
games.
came
and then
in,
fucked
played board
right
games,
off.
did a segment for a live show.
Oh, and then fucked off.
And then fucked off. And I had no idea he was coming in because I was like, oh, dude, if I'd known you were coming in, I would have gotten out of my comatic stupor and come and seen you.
Sorry. How would you have come out of your comatic stupor
Because
on account of Tom Merritt?
sheer will. That's what it is. I just did that. I did that. That was an accident.
Sure will.
Thank you.
You should wear T-shirts that are see-through so you could be sheer will.
So I didn't see how much I was gutted about, but we went to this bar in the evening and they did a live TMS which was hilarious because the show in general is hilarious.
Always funny. The best.
I had to point out that at the beginning of the show they did this whole thing that like Scott always says that we came about this show because I was listening to morning radio and I hated morning radio and I really wanted to do something better. Mm-hmm. I was like, but you realize that now you have an audience. Like for me, your morning show is my drive home show.
Right.
And the only time I get a morning show is when you do a show in the evening, which you call your evening show.
TMSPM.
Yeah, TMSPM. And he was like, oh, I never thought of that. And I was like, Americans.
Yeah.
Aren't they always the same?
Always.
This was the buildup. Was
time zones are weird?
Okay, British people are like this. Americans be like this.
Be like this.
I'm sorry, we don't have metric clocks.
Yeah.
I know. Oh shit! I have to be somewhere in 2 kilometers.
So we were laughing about that. It was a great show. They did a great little segment of escape roomism, and then they had a band play afterwards. And it
Same-sex marrying?
Yes.
Yeah, they're great.
So they were great. And then outside the bar that we were all like hanging out at was I think it was the second ever. I went and spoke to the organizer, but it was like it was at least the first or the second like Vegas like car modders meetup. So it was just full of like Subarus and Toyotas and all these things
Like
that
some
are,
Fast and the Furious
jacked
shit.
up and pimped down, girls in bikinis wandering around like with little neon things.
Did you race for pinks?
It was properly like I live my life a quarter mile at a time, and that quarter mile is between downtown and the stratosphere.
Oh wait, hold on. Why did you decide to stay at the Strat?
So I decided,
Because you are a London man of leisure. You are often at like the hip spots, like the Cosmo and
So when
everything. The Strat is not where I think the Strat, which at this point is 75% of a mall, and then a little casino in the middle, and then a amusement ride up top where you can do the like drop and stuff like that. I would not imagine that would be a pick unless you were like, no, I have to once in my life stay at the fucking Strat.
No, so I have stayed at the Strat before, which is a different story. But this year it was like so when I go to Vegas, I always stay at the Cosmopolitan.
Yeah,
Always.
Because I'm a
Except for the
privileged,
2
rich
times that you stayed at the Strat.
white asshole.
yeah. That might have been before Cosmo was built.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was before the Cosmo built. And
Including this time.
So I always stay there, which is why like Jerry came and met me there and won his $1,000 waiting for a drink because you are waiting that long for a drink.
Yeah.
And
Come on.
this year,
Do something about it, Biden.
Turns out the way you win it is by depositing $1,000 and just waiting for compound interest.
Yeah.
That's how you.
compound interest is faster in Vegas. Everything's bigger in Vegas. So I always stay at the Cosmo, but this year, because everything that the TMS Vegas was doing was downtown, I was like, if I stay at the Cosmo,
I'm gonna have to go back and forth.
everything I do is going to take me an extra 45 minutes.
And also, it was draft weekend or draft week, so I bet you shit was fucking expensive no matter what.
Fucking coming at me, bro.
I'm just saying.
What is draft weekend?
No, so
Oh,
the
Bonnie.
NFL draft was in Vegas while we were in Vegas. It was actually going on while we were there.
So was
but
there
it
a
was setting up and everything during the TMS
Yeah.
Vegas.
well, did y'all see some famous footballers while you were there?
You know what? We saw some famous magicians escape from straitjackets upside down in front of a bunch of military vets. And when Chris Angel finished, he shook hands and said, "You're welcome" to each of them.
What?
Yeah, it looked awkward even without sound.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
so apparently we
strange.
found out this later that Chris Angel went over time. It didn't escape. So everything is in Vegas, so it's very Vegas coded, and so there's
Yeah.
always like, when like the pick is in, flip, like blackjack cards, and like everything is all like neon and everything. And so they have Penn and Teller do the intro, and then all of a sudden, cut to suspended above the stage. Day 2, Chris Angel, and he's getting out of a straitjacket. It kind of just seems like he's turning around a lot, and then he just sort of takes off the straitjacket. Doesn't matter. What an amazing time. And then, like, you can just tell that the camera's just lingering on him as he slowly is lowered down and then stands up. And then as he's being shuffled off stage, he doubles back so he can literally shake everybody's hand on stage. And then Rob Lowe came out, and he had a very...
One-six man of the year.
Fucking A. Heat lifer.
Culture.
Culture, baby.
He
Culture.
deserved it.
Who's the sexiest man in the world?
Who is the
Who is-
sexiest man in the
Yeah,
world?
well, I mean, beyond that.
right now.
Yeah, well, who just won?
No, 6th man of the year, not
Sixth?
sexiest man in the world.
Sixth man.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what we want to hear.
Yeah,
What a
but no,
sixth man.
I would rather,
six
I would
men of the
rather-
year
no,
now?
In fact, we're gonna pivot to what you want to talk about.
Let's talk about sexy men.
Brian,
Yeah.
who's the sexiest man in the world to you?
Oh man, it's got to be Paul Rudd.
Okay, all right, Brett.
Oh, wow. Suddenly I'm double fisted. But who would I say? Yeah, I'd say. I keep going through. I don't know.
Are
You
you
know what?
quite
Come back.
literally trying to think of a man?
No.
Is it Bryce Castillo?
It could be.
Is it Will Harris?
It could be. It could be this fellow sitting next to me. You know, we have those
Whose
nice
name you
hugs.
can't remember?
Yeah,
That's why
'cause
you're.
I'm so nervous that I forgot his name.
All right.
Jarrett, you love Jeremy.
You're passing. You're passing. Will, sexiest man in the world right now.
Tom Ford.
Tom Ford. Okay.
I don't
Bonnie.
know who Tom Ford is. Who's
Oh,
Tom
Google.
Ford?
Somebody Google.
Yeah,
Right here, I'll Google
let's
Tom
see.
Ford.
Do you want to? Well, we can Google the photo of me.
Google Tom Ford.
Tom Ford is the name of a designer, but I think that's somebody else.
No. Yeah. He's a fashion designer.
Oh, it's just him. Okay.
Points.
Here you go. Double
It's
points.
just him. It's just the guy.
Well, I
Here
just
we
thought there
go.
were two Tom Fords.
Ford.
No, he's cute. Yeah.
Okay. Bonnie,
All right.
sexiest man in the world.
I'm going to say the Spider-Man dude was his name.
The new one?
He's so cute.
But there are
Tom
so
Holland?
many. Tom
Holland.
Holland.
Oh, yeah. No.
Oh, but how much is that sexy and how much is that mothering?
No. He's got a smile that is genuine, and that gets me every time.
There we go.
Real smile.
I will say
The only genuine smile in
the
all
way
of Hollywood.
he looks at Zendaya.
Yes.
Just saying.
Exactly.
It's
It's so
wonderful.
Are
cute.
they a real couple? I always just assumed that they
No.
were like a Hollywood couple.
Yeah, no, it's Tom and Zendaya are real.
Yeah.
Well-
no, I think they are. I think they're a thing.
Yeah.
No, they're real. They're real. I promise you.
Cynical Bryce.
'cause it all-
Cynical Bryce doesn't believe love is real. He's cynical Bryce.
But it's also
yeah.
really interesting because when you see Zendaya do those press tour interviews, last year it was her and Tom Holland.
Yeah.
And her and Timothy Chalamet.
Oh.
And you're like,
you can see the difference.
and you can see the difference.
You can see the difference between the way they look at, like, with God, wow, I can't believe I'm talking
look
about
at this. This is
I'm
really
just saying,
funny.
when you see
That's what I'm talking
Tom
about.
and Zendaya look at each other, it's totally different from when Zendaya and
Chalamet.
Chalamet. Okay.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're buds.
Chalamet, blown the fuck out. Bryce, sexiest man in the world.
I'm going to say 2002 George Clooney.
No time travel.
Okay.
No time travel.
Who's got the belt?
No
Who's
time
got the
travel.
sexy?
Who's got the belt right now?
Who's got the
Yeah.
belt? It's a Tom Ford belt.
Wait, I could go and get the Tom Ford belt.
Someone's gonna get awarded sexiest man of the show tonight with
With
Will's
Will
Tom
Harris's
Ford-
Tom Ford belt.
with Will Harris's Tom Ford belt.
Okay. If we're not time traveling, there's a race car driver who I think is very, very good looking.
Okay.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Yeah.
His name is Carlos Sainz, one of the Ferrari guys.
Oh shit.
But how much does assholery like take away from attractiveness?
I think it might enhance
Sometimes
it
it
for
enhances
Icy
it.
Brycey.
Sometimes it's just kind of part of the package.
My pick, Jesus Christ. You should all be ashamed. You should all be ashamed. You should all be ashamed.
We all got the wrong answer.
Did anybody else read that article this morning about like people getting their femurs lengthened?
What?
Actually, my nephew. That happened to my nephew
What?
when he was younger.
Tell the story.
My sister married someone who was a pretty short person.
Yep.
And there was a worry about that, and so when he was young, they lengthened his.
So a lot of times, like in an auto accident, sometimes legs are not the same length, and so there's corrective surgery to make it the same length. Then somebody thought, why not just
We could make
why not
money at
both?
this. Yeah.
yuck.
Average height
Oh my God.
is below 5'7" to above 5'9". Just saying.
Oh
That's
my
an elective
God.
surgery that can be had.
Oh, that's
I
so
could finally get to
gross.
6 foot.
Patreon.com/great night.
Oh
Would
my
you get that?
gosh. No.
When you were,
Would you get it if you knew it
when
put
you
over
were younger? Would
6'0"? If you knew it put you over 6 foot, would you do it?
There's no way.
No, double no. What was that? That was really weird. It's like, what if it was more grotesque?
What? I'm saying if it was very effective.
No.
If the procedure was effective on the condition of your body.
How miserable are you to be short?
I love it, dude. It's great.
Are you
That's what
kidding?
Bryce is asking.
Me and Brian are the same height.
Short people.
for now.
How miserable are you to be short? Are you projecting?
I was very confident in it when I was younger.
So apparently
I've only gotten more self-conscious about my height as people keep saying it's 6'0" is the average.
Oh, is it? Sounds like
no.
it is.
6'0" is the
5'9".
average.
5'9" is
And also,
average.
there is
Yeah.
a huge thing.
It's the average for
of,
height and length.
If you're in a
Yep.
if you're in a dating app,
Yep.
Okay.
and I'm not saying I'm in a dating app
Yep.
for,
This
but
is one of
He's
the
in a
things they
dating
talked
app.
about in the article is
it's like people who are over 6 foot get something like disproportionately like 3x the number of matches.
Yeah,
right.
And it's like even if the women matching them
Right.
are only like 5'2", 5'3", and it's like. Well, you don't really need a guy to be 6 foot if you're 5'2", 5'3".
Okay.
You can probably deal with like 5'7", 5'8".
But also,
Right.
don't men be lying about their
Oh!
height?
As a matter of fact,
this is
there was
Men be lying.
a movement to verify heights on various dating apps. People felt very
So one of my most
attacked
so
personally.
when you do a dating app, you not that I know much about these things, but when you upload your photos to here's who I am, what I do, you've always got to try and get one that's like straight on, like hey, this is me. Then you want one with some friends that proves like, hey, I have friends. I'm a normal human being. Then you want one picture with a girl that's like, hey, I can hang with the chicks too. I'm not
Yeah.
misogynist. They love me. And then you have like a wild...
helps if you like write that above
Yeah.
and below like a
And
meme.
then you have a wild card. And my wild card at various points... Not that I've ever done this. At various points in my life, my wild card has been me on a podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been me on MasterChef.
Yep.
It's been me standing next to a tape measure.
Yep.
With the tape measure above my head.
Yeah.
Showing 6'1" right against
Yeah. So they know.
I'm
not
like,
fucking around.
I am not lying. Because I always say to people, like, you can go on dates, you can meet people, and like, I've gone on dates and I've met people, and they're either like, sometimes their photos are a couple of years out of date, and you're like, nah, that's not really you, is it? But that's less egregious, I think, than
Because when you see a really, really, really cute picture of a girl, but she's holding a Dukakis sign, you're like, I don't know. Are you into vintage merch? Or like,
I have a whole other story about that.
About Dukakis.
Not
5 minutes, everybody.
not Dukakis specifically, but about much older people. But the
Oh, because that was a while ago.
but the point was people lie when I meet a woman
Yeah.
and you walk into a bar
Yeah.
and they go, "Wow, you're as tall as you said you were."
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm like, yes, because that would be the most easiest or like the hardest thing in the world to lie about. Like,
Yeah,
if
you
I'm
Second hardest thing to lie about.
Like if I'm 6 foot
Do you
one.
put that in the pictures with the ruler? Is
If
that
I'm
what's
6
happening?
foot one and I walk into a bar and I'm 5'5", like that's a really obvious lie. Whereas I'm like, if I was gonna lie about something, I would lie about something way less obvious. Like, no, I haven't been married before.
Yeah.
Nobody would do.
Because you clearly are very good
Yes,
at concealing
and
that.
Now, how would you hide that once you started playing Mario Kart?
I know.
It's only until Mario Kart comes
Then
out.
the truth.
I'm like, oh
Then
shit,
it's
I was
all-
married. You
Okay,
remember that time
all
I was
right.
married?
So I had a friend of mine that was on dating apps, and she was very direct with dudes of like, hey, look, I know this is a thing, but I am taller for a girl, so I need to know whether or not I am wearing heels or flats. And if you're lying about your height, you're going to totally fuck all this up.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm gonna be taller than you, and you're gonna feel fucking weird about it. So just tell me where your actual height is. And I don't think it ingratiated her much to the dating
but
community.
here's the
if you're gonna lie about the little things, then you're gonna lie
About the big
big things. So like, if you're
Right.
already
Actually, I
like,
think the phrase is if you're going to lie about the little things, you're going to lie about the even littler things.
exactly.
Well, although I do think that there is like a unique pain in the idea of like, okay, people won't even give you a look.
Yeah.
Like if I tell a white lie about an inch, 2 inch, 5 inch, whatever, like at
Right.
least I can get my foot in the door, and then I'll show them a close up.
I mean, to be fair, it's probably only 9 inches to get in the door. It's not a full foot.
Yeah. But yeah. So I think like that's the idea. The idea is like I just need one like those apps are fucking brutal. I'm so fucking pumped that I got out before I ever.
Oh
had to
man,
use an
you
app.
should see there is a segment in my match queue.
Yeah.
Because holy smokes, it's like so one of the things that I was like one of my weird have we got 2 minutes to tell a story?
Yeah. Go.
So I left my job at the beginning of this year. I'm starting a new job in a few weeks.
Right.
I also happen to, in between, be moving apartments and traveling around the States and meeting all my buddies that I haven't seen for 2.5 years because of the friend thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Fauci's planned disease. Go ahead.
I
The panini.
can't,
Yeah.
I can't do all this by myself. So I put an advert on this mailing list that I subscribe to, which is called Radio HP.
Okay.
And Radio HP is an email list. If you basically imagine Craigslist for posh upper class people.
Okay.
Okay.
So Craigslist.
No, Craigslist.
No,
is
that's for
bums.
That's for Android owners.
Yeah, it's for
Oh,
So I put this advert out. I'm like, hi, successful media exec, going through series of live events, moving house, changing job, blah blah blah. I was like, I need a PA. I put girl stroke boy Friday needed for 2 months ish. Like the phrase like Girl Friday or Boy Friday?
Right. I don't know what the stroke is.
No, just a slash.
Well, like
Oh,
a slash. Like
slash.
either
British
Boy
people,
Friday.
British people, yeah,
Right.
for slash.
I thought
yeah.
you were just saying you want to stroke a girl. I'm like,
Or a boy. He
Or
said
a
boy
boy.
stroke.
Yeah,
He said boy
okay.
stroke.
Yeah. It's like girl stroke, boy stroke my inner thigh.
Yeah.
So this, so I put this advert up. Like, can I please have? Does somebody want to apply?
Be a personal
to
assistant.
be my PA for like 2 months while I get my shit sorted.
together. Yeah.
And so number one,
So does everybody else who's also rich and British just like forward it to their like maids?
yes.
That was a joke.
So
the
I
British
get-
are beyond parody.
Then suddenly it was not a joke.
So I get, in the space of a day.
Yeah. Maria, can you come in? I have a good opportunity for you.
So I have this.
That's all around London at
So
one moment.
So I get this. So I have 57 applications in one
jeez.
day.
oh,
For
wow.
a minimum wage, part-time, cash in a hand job. And
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, the university market is like fucked. B, the girl that I end up working with, it's her mum who's on the mailing list.
Yeah.
Her mum forwards it to her and is like, call this man so you can have some money, because she's an actress.
Okay.
And so she wants the actress. But
Yeah.
the
Notoriously detail oriented.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
But the
Count
second,
on them.
The second thing being, it was insane that you get like that many applicants for
Yeah.
like a relatively junior level job, and you realize,
Sure,
like,
yeah.
And when you
okay,
say
this is-
junior level, you mean the pay would be
Minimum wage.
Yeah.
And
Minimum
what is minimum wage in
like
Europe?
like $100 a day?
Oh, good.
For how many
Nice.
hours?
Oh, like as many hours as we were around. Like if I'm hung,
I'm gonna be needing a raise.
4 hours.
Yeah.
If I'm on it, it's maybe like 12.
Okay.
But you paid your money, you take your choices. But the
You
best
pays
one I
your
had,
money, you takes your
Yes,
choices.
choices.
but the advert next to mine.
Yeah.
So just to put a little pen in it.
Of what other rich British people are looking for.
Right.
That
Yeah.
they tell their
Is-
man.
Human
So-
dog for companionship.
There's like me.
Hunted for
I'm
sport.
Like, I'm an executive. So the first reply I get is, "Hi, I'm not interested in your job, but I am also going through a change in life. I'm moving on to a new part of the world. I'm looking to change up what I'm doing. I'd love to go on a date with you. For your context, I'm 61.
Oh my God.
Of course, you might be gay, in which case, ignore this."
So now,
wait, hold on, wait,
you're like, am I gonna bang out this 61-year-old woman
Just
to prove I'm straight?
Yeah. Like, what a good hedge, right?
And
It's
the
just
second,
yeah.
and the
like unless
second
you're
one,
gay, I assume you're
Nice setup.
interested.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second one was the post that appeared just above mine, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know, I can top this."
Can I go back to the woman that emailed you?
Yeah.
I can just imagine your thought in your head as soon as you read that email. It's like, what she doesn't know is, I jacked it to the exotic Marigold Hotel.
So the price above, just to show you the mailing list that I was on, was the post above was just a picture of a peacock,
Yep.
Okay.
and the headline and the body text was just, "For sale, 2 peacocks, the usual price."
Market!
It's pretty good.
Price!
Pretty good.
And I was like, "Oh man."
A serious inquiry.
Yeah, I'm like, if only I knew what the usual price for a peacock was.
Googling usual price for peacock.
Is it a boy slash girl?
All right, here we go. Yeah,
And on that bombshell,
Hold on, wait. No, here we go. We have one final thing. We're going to find out what the
Search
usual...
the internet for the usual price of a peacock.
probably be
I mean, I
like-
think it's $9.99 for
It'll
your
probably
first
the-
for your first month.
Yeah, NBC.
Yeah, exactly.
Peacock. But that's Peacock Plus.
Yeah, exactly.
Different.
But you get
Oh my
all
God.
the WWE pay-per-views.
On
Sure.
average, an adult peacock can cost anywhere from $35 to as much as $275.
Dollars.
That's a big
Yes.
range, though.
Ironically, it's not as big if you measure it statistically. It's just that big when you post it on Craigslist.
Yeah.
All right.
On cost.
Ground control.
Yes, hello.
Sip.
Okay, thank you to the green room, everybody. Welcome back.
Laters.
Laters, indeed. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here. There we go. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Great Night Pre-Show Green Room, Great Room thing. I got Cory here. Hello, Cory.
What's up?
Before we do that, let's do a couple of birthdays here in our birthday borner. Let's see. Your man Jeff's birthday was on Saturday and was in Vegas to see the Diamond Club Boys. So thank you, Jeff, for tuning in and turning another year older. Speed Demon turned 34 on the 1st. So happy birthday, Speed Demon 34.
Yeah.
Reno.
Old bastard.
Yeah. Brina Warrior Princess was last week, April 27th. Happy birthday, Brina.
Yeah.
Thermos Jack's birthday is tomorrow. So thank you, Thermos Jack, for letting us know. And everybody, thank you for letting us know all about all the great birthdays you've got coming up here in the Birthday Borner.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of time, just a little bit of time today. We kind of didn't expect, we weren't sure we would do a show this week. And so we kind of blew all of our Miami load last week.
Yep.
But what I didn't realize, welcome to Critical Racing Theory. What I didn't realize was the Miami GP, which is this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I always assumed that their yacht club, they would bolt down the boats and then put them in water.
Yes.
I assumed like, hey, a little retention pool,
Something. No.
something,
There's
right?
plenty of swamps there. Surely you can.
You can
a bullet in
find
a swamp, right?
Exactly.
Mhm.
Apparently, that is not the case. The boats are bolted down, but in lieu of water, they just have a big plastic vinyl sheet.
That might be the most Florida thing I've ever seen. if we're really talking about it, that might be. That's Florida, my friend.
It makes sense. Like, thinking about it, like, it makes sense. You can't fucking have any standing water around fucking drunk boat people. Like, come on. But could it look a little nicer? Could the water look not like a Minecraft texture? Does it look like it's about to jump into the
Texture is the best way to describe it. It is horrible. It looks like, it looks like a slip and slide, except like the like a fake
a slick tarp? Because it just looks like a wet tarp, honestly.
Yeah, it looks like on a slip and slide. They'll have the yellow slide, and then they'll have like some fake water graphic over the top. That looks like the fake water graphic slide.
It does.
Wow, that's amazing.
I'm excited though. I think the track will be all right.
Yeah,
They've got a lot of turns in there. Like there's not a lot of altitude because it's a parking lot, but I think they tried to put a lot of turns in, and it'll be
it'll be fun. It's always interesting the first time. It'd be interesting to see how many passes there are, how much action there is. But there should be some action at the start, just because everybody's going to try to figure out what the hell that track is.
Yeah.
So there should be some excitement there.
Yeah. So we just got back from Vegas. You actually joined us on the trip to Vegas
Yeah.
for Scoopfest. How did you like that?
It was great. It was great. I've spent a lot of my life in Vegas because I worked for Microsoft for many years, and we had lots of conferences there. So I'm very familiar with the Vegas life. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun seeing some fans of ours, that are kind of cross-platform fans of the Ice Cream Social Boys and everything else. The funniest part is when we got there, I expected people to say, "Hey, I know you."
You've been on Modern Rogue
Long enough
videos.
that people would recognize me and stuff. And so,
stuff. You're here.
sure enough, people came up and was like, "Hey, man, I really love watching." I'm like, "Hey, that's cool, man." I'm thinking in my head, like, "Yeah, Modern Rogue makes sense, And they're like, "Man, I just love Critical Racing Theory." I'm like, "What? Okay, cool." And then it happened again.
And again.
And then it happened again. And I'm like, "Wait a minute. Wait, nobody cares about Modern Rogue." Actually, one guy did.
I'm
One guy
glad
was
you-
very excited about Modern Rogue. But Thor, if you're listening, I love you, boo. but like so many Critical Racing Theory fans out
Yeah.
there all of a sudden. It's hilarious.
It's great. It's a lot of fun. Well, thank you for listening to some Critical Racing Theory. I think we still have a few more minutes here.
Yeah, there was one question up there. I see
yeah.
posted. He
That's-
asked me a question. What does Cory think the hottest F1 driver is? Now,
Yeah,
what do you mean by hottest? Do you think that means sexiest?
Well,
Do
so
you think hottest as in like
spicy.
or the spiciest? If you were
We-
able to cut off a finger, which one would be?
Who's got the most spicy? Earlier in the green room we were talking who is the sexiest man on earth.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so, for lack of anybody, I said Carlos Sainz because I think Carlos Sainz is very incredibly attractive.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Who do you think that there's a best-looking F1 driver? I think Carlos is definitely up there.
Carlos is definitely high up there.
Charles kind of is high. Like both of our guys.
He's cute though.
Yeah.
He's very cute. He almost slides into the little too cute for me. I need a man.
Oh, okay.
And so
kind of
that's
like a
why-
Fernando
Yes,
or like.
exactly. So
Ooh,
Fernando used to be that for sure. He's getting a little older because he's I think the same age or older than me. So he's an old bastard. But he's very hot for a 41-year-old Spanish guy.
Absolutely. And he can still drive. Hey, you know what? He can still drive.
Ocon is all right.
Ocon's out there, yeah. P. Lizzle suggests Gasly. Yeah, Pierre Gasly.
Yeah, but
The very
again,
specific look.
He's also once again he's a small
He's a
girly man, and I need a
You need a Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. Cory was hanging with Bill Gates. I actually was.
Oh.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we did go do during Scoopfest was on what was that Friday night?
Okay.
We went out to our favorite spot, Ninja, and did some karaoke.
Yes, that was wild.
That was that was your first time seeing me give the J-pop
Yes.
the gauntlet.
Yes. I'm very excited for the future
Yeah.
because I'm gonna have to try to figure out one of those songs.
Oh.
And then like surprise you, just like sing in note with you
With-
to the song.
Oh my God.
just find one that I can sing along with.
Oh, I'm too excited. I was making throughout the weekend because I knew we would go back. I was keeping a list on my Things app of okay, what songs do I really what songs have I been listening to a lot lately that I really want. I got through about half of them on karaoke. I think that was kind of the nice thing. We went to like a private room, which is what Ninja is, but it was kind of nice. I like to sing at karaoke, especially when it's in a room, and so with only there being like 3 or 4 of us,
Cory doing a Japanese accent would be a little funny. Yeah.
you know, there's a when I speak or sing Japanese, whatever. Like I don't think about an accent at least, but I don't know. I'm kind of immersed in it.
Yeah, no, I'm sure most people here know that you sing Japanese karaoke, right? Do you think
Yeah.
people know?
Yes, they do because it's been a bit on the show in the past.
I knew it's been mentioned, but
Yeah.
it is a little wild when Bryce starts singing in Japanese because you kind of even know that it's going to come.
Yeah.
And then it starts and you're thinking like, okay, this should be interesting. And then he like sings pretty well. And it's a little confusing because it's like a little better than it should be.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, that's quite a bit of vibrato you got. I mean, like, it seems to be roughly in what I would imagine to be in tune.
I know my songs. Part of it is like when I got into J-pop in middle school and high school, like that was really all I listened to.
Yeah.
And it's so difficult to bring stuff over that you just kind of really.
What were your parents doing during this? What were they like? J-pop, huh?
Yeah, they didn't really have many thoughts about it. They knew I was just a little nerd.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's pretty safe. I mean, like,
what I got a lot back in the day, which you don't get as much anymore, I think because K-pop is popular, but it was like, how do you know that they're not saying something nasty?
Yeah.
How do you know that they're not talking about piss and shit and poop? Like, Mom, I think it's fine. It's
probably. And
it's called Love Story. It's not really going to be a piss and shit, I think. It will be. All right. Well, it's 7:03. Thank you, Cory, for joining me here in the pre-show for a little bit of critical racing theory and all sorts of great room pre-show stuff. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here in the pre-show Green Room, Great Room. One more time, or actually for the first time today, make sure you join us on Patreon if you have not considered it. Patreon.com/greatnight. If you support us there, you get all sorts of good stuff, including an exclusive a podcast. That's right, you get an exclusive podcast every week. You get a podcast every week. You get access to our Diamond Lounge. You get updates in your inbox, and the very easy RSS feed with no login required. Which is a big thing. Logging in for podcast feeds stinks. So don't do that. Go just give us money on Patreon. All right, let's do some checks here. Brian, are you good? Yeah. Justin. Brett.
Hello, friend.
Ooh, hello, friend. Let's see. Jeff. Annalisa. The chat. And our audience. There we go. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Great Night pre-show. Let's take it to the show. Brett, are you ready to begin?
Yes.
All right, I will count you down in